Welcome back. Time for a spring update from the Quincy Chamber of Commerce. Tim Cahill, president, has stopped on by to tell us what's happened already and what's coming up in 2024. Good to see you, Tim.
Good to see you too, Joe. Spring, it doesn't feel like spring today, so we're I don't know if it's officially spring, but it is daylight savings. So I guess it's going to stay light and cold longer today.
That's March. That's typical March.
Yeah, I know.
That's
true.
exactly.
It's true. But I appreciate your confidence in the spring will be here.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's actually a week from tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, it hasn't been bad. I mean, considering some of the winters that we've lived through, I mean, I'm not complaining. And from a business perspective, it's good.
Okay.
Because you don't have to fight the snow. You're not giving people an excuse to stay indoors.
Ah,
so
yes.
It's not great for the Currys and the Home Depots and the places like that. And for the plow drivers. But I think it just seems like it's a trend. It's going in that direction, so I'm not going to complain.
Knocking on all kinds of wood.
although we'll see, everyone will get rid of their plows and the trucks will go away, and then next year we'll have 17 feet.
I remember April 1st, 1997, all too well, and I don't want to play that game.
Well,
again.
thinking of putting out my deck furniture this weekend, Joe, so I could jinx it if I do.
That'll be your fault then,
Tim.
You said it here.
I know.
Well, I'll blame you. What's the chamber been up to so far this year?
We've had a busy year.
Yeah,
it's been very busy. After hours events, before hours events. We've been doing a lot, and the chamber's grown. We added 16 new members.
Oh, what are you up
just
to
in
now?
the first 2 months. So it's just been really good getting the word out, getting new businesses to join, keeping our current folks
how many members
engaged.
now?
It's close to 500.
Okay.
So it's growing all the time. And the good news this year is not only are we growing, but we're retaining our members too, which means they seem to be happy with us. And they seem to be getting something out of it.
So they're getting a benefit, yeah.
I think they get something out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been active. We've been extremely active. I mean, I think we finished our Christmas market in early December, took a little downtime to get organized, and now we have probably our biggest one-day event, which is the showcase, annual meeting, business showcase that will be coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yep, March 26th.
It will definitely be spring by then, I guarantee you.
Okay, if you say so, Tim.
Yeah.
Let's see, so it's going to be 4:30 to 8:30 on the 26th up at Granite Links again.
Granite Links, our favorite place to go. It's great. Feels like you're outdoors even when you're inside.
All those windows, yeah.
All those windows and stuff. It's great for the showcase, the exhibitors. We have right now, as of today, I think we have almost all 50.
Okay.
We might be fully booked. I'm not 100% sure. There's still room to buy tickets, but I think we're booked for the exhibitors, and we get a nice program.
Tell us.
We'll be honoring the Galvin companies, Sean and Scott Galvin, developers here in Quincy for the last 30 years. So they are coming in as as inductees to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
Business Hall of Fame. They'll be the 7th business inducted into our Hall of Fame, which we started in 2019.
Okay.
So that's exciting for us. We're really excited. I mean, they've been such an important player, especially in the redevelopment of Quincy over the last 15 years.
Yes.
They've been at it a lot longer than that, but these last 15 years they've made some real big strides, especially downtown. Their building on Clagnon Street was a precursor to what's happened downtown.
And they were one of the first.
Yeah, they were definitely one of the first. Built some condos there. They're beautiful and full. Which is great. It's all you can ask for, and a couple of retail tenants on the bottom floor, which is really nice as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get some more downtown, and it should be a busy year.
Well, and you've got Atlantic and Foxtrot that have got big developments planned right across from Jarvis Park.
And then you've got Joey Akari in the old dollar store that should be coming down soon and then going up. And hopefully the folks at LBC will start their project, which is opposite from Clagnon Street this year. That's already permitted. So Square's doing well. The rest of the city is I mean, really come back strong since COVID. I mean, the businesses, they continue to grow and they continue to come in to Quincy, which I think is really, really well. And this annual meeting really showcases that. So we'll have over 50 small, medium-sized businesses that will be exhibitors for the first 2 hours, so people can network and see what we have, and people can promote themselves, physically promote themselves, as opposed to just digitally or on social media.
No more virtual, right?
We stopped that a while ago, and this has always been part of that. But I think it's grown in significance because people are much more intent on getting in front of people, physically getting in front of people. And then The program is to really honor the chamber of businesses. We've done that since 2019 by honoring some Hall of Famers. This year, in addition to the Hall of Fame, we are celebrating our 15th year anniversary this year.
Oh, okay.
As a standalone chamber,
Yeah.
separated from South Shore Chamber back in 2009. And we're going to honor the founders, the folks, the guys, men and women who created the chamber back in 2009.
And who are they, Tim?
I don't have the full list in front of me,
okay.
but they'll be headlined by Ed Cohane,
Okay,
who
sure.
served as our first chair. We've got, I believe, 12, so you'll have to come to find out
We will
who
be
they
there,
all
by the
are,
way, yes.
who they all are and stuff. And they go, it's members who have been active, still active, and those that were there at the beginning. It includes one of our deceased members, Bruce Woods,
Sure.
who we named an award after. So in addition to the 2 awards, we'll also be giving out 2 grants, one named after Bruce Woods. This will be the 5th year that we've done that. Award $5,000 grant to a deserving business that not only has been successful, but also gives back to the community.
And who would that be?
Yeah, and then we don't have it yet.
Oh, you don't
We
have
haven't
it yet?
chosen
Oh,
We
okay.
won't be announcing it in advance, so you'll have to come and find out.
Okay.
It'll be a surprise.
Little teasers, yeah.
And then we have the Phyllis Godwin Woman in Business Award that will
Yes.
also be given out. So
Yeah.
that's for, there'll be $12,500 in grants given out. That is to a woman-owned business
Okay.
that has committed themselves and have a good story to tell. It'll be chosen by Phyllis and her family on Wednesday.
Phyllis Godwin from
Phyllis
Granite City
Godwin.
Electric,
And then
yeah.
we have a committee of the Bruce Wood Grant Committee that will also be meeting on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we'll know, and then 2 weeks from now, everyone will know.
Oh, so this coming Wednesday?
This coming Wednesday, we're going to choose.
Okay.
The committees will choose
Okay.
who the deserve. We had over 40 applicants.
Wow.
So we had a good turnout of people who put their toe in the water. They filled out the application, and it was nice to see. It's nice to read through the applications and find out what these businesses are
I
doing.
bet you'll learn something, too,
We
right?
did learn something
Yeah.
great, and it just shows you what a great group of businesses we have,
Yeah.
both on the female side
Yeah.
of business, but also on the community side. So we really enjoy that because not only we look back on our businesses, I think Granite City just celebrated its 100th anniversary
incredible, yeah.
last year,
Wow.
and they were admitted to the, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2021.
Okay.
Actually in 2020, but we didn't meet in 2020, so they
The
got in
year-
2021.
the year that wasn't, right?
The year that wasn't,
Yeah.
so that hurt. But Phyllis was there. Phyllis will be there again. She's still going strong and still active in her community and still active in the business community. And she's been a great mentor to me and to so many of us in the business community. So we're excited. What we try to do is bring the new, the current, and the old. Or the history and the future together at our annual meeting. And the current businesses that are all actively involved, the 50 or 55 that will be out there exhibiting what they have and showing people and showcasing themselves, as well as the program, which updates everyone on what we've done over the past year, what the chamber has accomplished over the past year, but also what the city has accomplished over the past 15, 20, 30, 100 years.
Yeah.
It goes. We go all the way back. It's a great way to showcase our city.
Yeah.
To remember the past, but also to really honor the future as well. I mean, we're coming up on our 400th anniversary as
I was
a
going to ask
settlement.
about that, yes.
Yeah, well, it's exciting,
Yeah.
and I've been included in the mayor's sort of working group to
Oh,
see
okay.
what we can do and how we celebrate. You'll have to talk to him specifically to get all the details, but those are currently being worked out. But one of the things that we're working on with him and with Ed Fitzgerald at the Quincy Historical Society is putting up more signage to signify the history of the city, the important places, the important businesses, the important buildings and structures, and obviously this building that we're in right now, the Thomas Crane Library, would be one of them.
Certainly,
So
yeah.
when people walk around the city,
Yep.
when visitors come or when residents walk around, they hopefully will get a flavor of, well, what is that building? What's behind there? How long has it been there?
It's a great idea. The Coddington Building is another example.
Coddington Building's
There's so
another
many in the
one.
city that
It's-
people may have recognized all their lives but didn't know the history
Yeah,
of.
and I think it's a great way to get people out on foot
Mm.
through the city. They can, again, you walk by something that you really just don't notice because you've driven by it 1,000 times.
Exactly.
And you're just trying to get through that light, and you're not looking at stuff. So we're trying. We started a couple of years ago with the President's Trail,
That's
and
right.
we have some beautiful signs out on all the historically significant buildings that relate back to the Adamses and the Hancocks. You know, the first and the second and the sixth president, and this will be an expansion of that. And so we're excited. Plus, you know, the mayor, he loves events. He loves to do big things. So
Yes.
there's going to be parades, and there's going to be, I'm sure, events around that, you know, that 400th anniversary. I believe we're the sixth earliest settlement in Massachusetts.
Is that right?
And
Okay.
in the country, I believe, or certainly in the top 10 nationally. Depends if you add, you know, Florida and
Okay.
Jamestown and places like that.
Yeah.
But we're certainly up there. We're ahead of Boston, and I think, so, you know, it will be good. I met with Ed Fitzgerald and his team last week just to go over and just to think about it. I mean, 400 years is a long time. And the city's just changed constantly. Each century, things change. And I think we've seen a lot of change. It kind of goes back to 100 years ago when the city really, you know, the first skyscraper was built, the Granite Trust Building.
Sure.
And, you
Yeah.
know, commercial activity started, then that morphed into Shopperstown. And the city really took off 100 years ago as a city. Before that, we were a little town, kind of sleepy, maybe, you know.
Well, it was agricultural based, right?
It was agricultural and
fishing-based, right?
manufacturing based,
Yeah.
and now we've become a service industry,
Right.
a service city, with a ton of neighborhoods, a ton of restaurants, and some really, really strong commercial businesses. So it's so this event we have this year will tie into that event as well.
Okay.
And I'm excited about it. I love history. First job out of college was working for the Park Service at the old house.
Oh,
so,
interesting. Okay.
So I love history. I love looking into, you know, what got us started, how we got started here in Quincy,
Yeah.
why this is a special community.
Is the chamber itself planning anything specific for its 15th anniversary this year?
The annual meeting.
Okay.
The annual meeting will be our celebration,
That's the
and
big one, yeah.
we'll be honoring the founders. And it's probably not long enough to get into a big celebration. 15 years isn't a long time, but in reality, though,
Yeah.
the Quincy Chamber started in 1901. The Quincy Board of Trade was the first business organization, and then it became the South Shore Chamber,
Yep.
and then we split. So our history really goes back 125 years.
Okay.
So I guess we could technically celebrate our
Tap into that,
next year. We could celebrate our 125th anniversary if we really want to get back into
Well,
it.
you could
But
partner up with the Quincy 400 celebration,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, someone dropped off a magazine last year about, you know, the history of the South Shore Chamber. And I knew that Quincy had sort of started originally and then became Quincy South Shore and then became South Shore, but I didn't know all the details. I mean, it started by Charles Francis Adams II.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
A benefactor and business leader in the city. And again, it was the Quincy Board of Trade and then became the Quincy Chamber of Commerce and then the South Shore, Quincy South Shore Chamber.
Yeah.
And what it does is it really tracks that, you know, that century, the 20th century, from 1901 to
Okay.
2001, about all the businesses. So you really see, you know, Howard Johnson's, you see the Granite Trust Building, you see, it's just not just Quincy, it's the whole South Shore,
Sure.
but it really focuses the first 50, 75 years on Quincy.
Well, I mean, even today, it's still the only true city in Norfolk County.
Yes.
You know, I mean, yes, we
Yes.
have mayors now in Braintree and Weymouth, but
Correct.
But still, as
Yeah.
far as chartered as a city,
Yeah, and it's
the only one.
important for us to, as a chamber, I think, and for us as business leaders to support the growth and to explain it. We have an event coming up in April that we're going to have up at Ashler Park, which was the site of the former Quincy Hospital.
sure.
It's just an after-hours event, but we're
Okay.
going to invite not just the business community, but the neighborhood, and some of the folks who used to work at the hospital.
Oh, wow.
The event's going to be in the old administration building, and
Yep.
I don't know if you've been up there,
I
but
have, yeah.
it is really came out really nice.
Well, it's if you haven't been up there, and then you go up now, and
It's amazing.
It's amazing the
It's
difference.
amazing.
That
It's
you've-
amazing.
That is
and
made,
and
yeah.
you took a piece of property that wasn't generating anything
Yeah.
and that could have turned into anything. And now you've got housing. And they maintain that beautiful administration building,
It's still there.
which
Yep.
looks great on the outside, but looks even better on the inside.
I didn't go in. So
Go
okay.
inside. Well, I think it's, I don't want to say, I don't know what the date is, but we'll let you know. We'll
right,
put it on the
so on
calendar.
your website, I'm sure.
Sometime in April, I think April 14th, I
Okay.
believe, is the date. because we want people to, not just to drive by again, but to walk in and see it and see how it looks. It's built more like a campus than it is just like, it's not a high rise, they're 4-story buildings. And it was a very controversial project.
Oh, for sure.
Very large,
Yeah.
very controversial. And it's nice when it's not completely done, but it should almost be done by April.
Okay.
I mean, all the fences should be down, and maybe not all the units will be open, but
Right.
it's half full now.
Well, there's a lot of outdoor amenities that I saw, sitting areas, fire pits,
Swimming pool, I
things
mean,
like that. Yeah.
everything. And it is, I walk through it a lot because I
Yeah.
live up near there, and it's kind of like a little neighborhood. And you can
Yeah.
come out the other side and walk down to Glendale Road. There's a little path through the little park there and stuff. So it's, not everyone loves it,
Mm-hmm.
not everyone supports it, but I think it's worked out well for us because the building sat empty for a decade, and who knows what it would be used for if it was still sitting there. The state could come in and take it over and turn it into something that we couldn't control. And now we're going to have the next best thing to a hospital down the street in Quincy Center,
Yeah.
with Milton Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital building a medical facility. Not quite a hospital, but the closest thing you can get to a hospital, one that will service people in Quincy, so you don't have to go to South Shore or to Milton or even into Boston for minor things, and then refer you into Boston if you need major stuff. So it was a controversial move at the time to switch out that property and turn a hospital into an apartment complex, and then turn a parking lot into a hospital or a medical facility. But it's, that deal has been signed. I know Beth Israel Deaconess really wants to be here in Quincy, and they're going to move forward on it. And I think the dirt should be being dug up pretty soon.
Pretty soon,
you
yeah.
know? So it's exciting. I think it's a good, we got a great story. And
How's the restaurant scene in Quincy Center? We've seen some transformations going on.
Yeah,
recently.
it's always evolving.
Yeah.
Some folks. I mean, we lost the Fat Cat this year, which
Right.
was sad
Yeah.
and unfortunate. But we got a new Italian restaurant opening up across the street at the current LBC building, the Nova Apartments. They're working on it now, so they'll be here. We've had some new restaurants pop up, Vietnamese restaurant, a little Asian lunch shop that's opened up. And then when Joey Akari comes in and builds his new building at the site of the Family Dollar store, there'll be a restaurant, 2-story restaurant, a part of
Right.
that. And then Jimmy Liang is coming up with a new restaurant at the old Masonic
Masonic
Temple.
Temple, yeah. I
which
see the Townsend rebranding itself too.
The Townsend. So, I mean, I think we're strong as ever.
Okay.
We've got a James Beard Award winner restaurant down in, small restaurant down in North Quincy in
Yes.
Norfolk Downs. I was down there, and a current Vietnamese restaurant is just rebranded as Le Meridien. I don't know what the name of it was before, on the
Okay.
corner. I was there for a grand reopening that they had
Yes.
last week.
Yeah.
So I think you're seeing a lot. There's a new wine bar restaurant opening up at Marina Bay this spring.
Which has its own chamber now,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. And so, I think it's never easy. I know that from personal experience,
Right.
having been in the restaurant business. And COVID made it harder.
Sure.
But I think it's good. I think it's good.
Okay.
And we had a decent winter. We're hoping for a good summer. We didn't have a good summer last year because all it did was rain.
Rain, yes.
So, but we'll see. I mean, resiliency is part of the restaurant's DNA, so you have to be it. And I think
Yeah.
Quincy's as good as anything.
Always great to see you, Tim.
Time flies.
Time flies.
Time flies.
Yeah,
But
appreciate it.
we look forward to having you guys up at the annual meeting.
We'll see you then.
To show the residents of Quincy, and hopefully the residents, as well as the business community, want to come up and visit us. We'd love to have them.
Excellent.